Dyslexia is a learning difficulty associated with reading, spelling and writing, but dyscalculia is difficulty with maths.
Students also have trouble decoding words. Next up is dyscalculia, which is a math learning disability that hinders the student's ability to understand mathematical related concepts.
As number dyslexia. However, this term is too simple because it affects other things such as your sense of direction and ability to read maps, your left from your right and your sense of time. So the combination of all of these things sometimes leads us to find simple tasks trickier and a wee bit more overwhelming than they ought to be.
Someone with dyscalculia finds it hard to make sense of numbers and basic number concepts of maths. There hasn't been as much research done on dyscalculia as on other learning issues.
And I'm aware that this is so easy for other people, but to me it's just this circle full of numbers and lines and things are moving around. It makes absolutely no sense.
But researchers are finding that it's just as common as dyslexia, so that's about 10% of the population. Structured approach means maths should be broken into smaller chunks or skills and once understood, built on. So we build on the skills that we know. Both dyslexia and dyscalculia affect a child's ability to understand maths words. Here are some signs of dyscalculia for different age groups.
Dyscalculia has been researched a lot less than dyslexia or ADHD, so it's likely that only the most severe cases, such as myself, are actually diagnosed. I was diagnosed with dyscalculia when I was 19 years old, and while I wish that I had received the diagnosis sooner so that I could have had help in school, when I'm writing down a number, it's as though there's a pal beside me shouting out random numbers trying to put me off, but it's just my brain trying to reach the correct number. If you're wondering if you might have dyscalculia, see if any of this sounds familiar to you.
They might still have trouble recognising and writing numbers. They'll have difficulty learning and remembering basic number facts like 3 plus 4 equals 7. They might mix up the math symbols like confusing a plus symbol with a multiply. They use their fingers to count instead of using other strategies, and they might struggle with concepts like greater than or less than, or larger or smaller, or before or after.
You are terrible at maths. You struggle to read a map. Clocks for some reason are just tricky to read. You took longer to learn your left from your right in school. You could not tell me how much a house or a car would typically cost. You sometimes forget people's names upon meeting them the once, even when you ought to remember. And anything to do with numbers is just a wee bit fear instead.
By the end of primary school, children are doing time, decimals, fractions, percentage, geometry, algebra, area and volume. So for high school children, school maths has become complex and they'll be lost in maths class. Signs that they are struggling are that they can't apply simple maths to everyday life, including money handling. They have trouble measuring things like ingredients in a recipe or liquid in a bottle. Because of their left and right confusion, they struggle with directions or finding their way around using a map. Technology and Google has alleviated this issue, so you might not notice them struggle. When shown a graph, high school kids might not understand it. They might find learning to drive difficult, once again because of left and right confusion and estimating distances and speeds.
If this sounds familiar to you, then there is a chance that you might have one of the most underdiagnosed learning disabilities about. If you do have dyscalculia or just really struggle with maths and feel a wee bit isolated, just know that you are not alone. And there shouldn't be any shame in it at all. We can't choose the way that our brains are wired. If you relate to this video, it could be worth speaking to your GP or somebody at your school or college, because there might be help available to you that you don't even know about. And whether or not you do, it's always good to learn about the weird and wonderful ways in which our brains can work.
Okay, thank you for your time. Please subscribe to this channel, hit the thumbs up button. Have a great day.